Hello learners, welcome to this agriculture lesson. Our topic is farm power and machinery. I am Mr. Timon, Athoo. In our previous lesson, we were able to look at the other systems of a tractor. We have looked at the fuel system, we've looked at the electrical system, the ignition system, and all the other systems, and even the transmission system. In this lesson, we are going to focus on the last bit of the transmission system, and that is the final drive. Now, the final drive as part of the transmission system is the one that ensures the power that has come from the engine through the clutch assembly, through the gears and the differential, eventually reaches the wheels so that the tractor can move forward or backward depending on the engaged gear and the expected work. The final drive, the main components of the final drive is the driving axle and the wheels. The driving axle and the wheels. So these are the axles that transmit power to the wheels. These are the wheels. Yes, so power from the differential that has changed the direction at right angles brings power now to the wheels. So the wheels together with the axles make up the final drive. What are the functions of the final drive in a little while. So this is a model showing the differential that transmit power at right angles. Remember, power from the engine is moving in one direction, and then at the differential it is changing direction at right angles, so that if the crankshaft was rotating clockwise, then because of the differential the wheels will rotate in another entirely different plane. So this is the axle and then this is the wheel. So the axle together with the wheel and the other axle on the other side together with the wheel make up the final drive. Now the functions of the final drive, there are three. One is to reduce the speed further, the speed of drive, because the speed at which the crankshaft rotates is so high that you may not be able to control the tractor if it were to move at that speed. So the final drive, that is the wheel axle and the wheel, generally reduce the speed so that it is easy to work with. Number two, it enables the tractor to move forward or backward depending on the engaged gear. So it's the wheels that will enable the tractor to move, or any vehicle to move. Without the wheels, the vehicle or the tractor will be grounded. Three, the third function of the final drive is to achieve traction, that is the grip, so that the tractor or the vehicle does not slip if it is a slippery ground, it's moving on a slippery ground, or it does not stick in mud or muddy grounds. So those are the functions of the final drive. As we move along, we'll be able to see how the final drive achieves these three functions. Now, a wheel comprises of the rim, bolts, nuts, tube, and tires. Though we appreciate the fact that many modern vehicles may not be having tubes, they are tubeless, but all the same, the rims, the bolts, nuts, and the tires are very essential components of a wheel. And all the tires will be having very heavy tread bars, or should be having heavy tread bars, because this is what will help improve traction, that grip on the surface on which it is moving. And then the wide diameter, tires should be having wide diameters and width. All these will help to increase the surface area in contact with the ground so that the traction is improved. We shall see these components in a little while. So the rim is there, and then the tire. So the tire must fit the rim for it to work well. The tire should be having very heavy tread bars. These tread bars ensure that traction is proper so that it does not stick in muddy grounds or slip in a slippery environment. So the wheel, as we said, comprises of the tire, and then there's the rim, and then there is nuts and bolts, a system of nuts and bolts that put up the parts together. And we appreciate the width, the diameter of the tire. The diameter of the tire is wide enough, especially if you compare it with this other wheel. And this increased diameter will help to increase traction because the surface area in contact with the ground will be bigger. And then the width now of the tire will also be wider. The wider the width, the better the traction. So those are the components of a wheel. We are still able to appreciate the tire and the rim, of course, with nuts and bolts. Then the heavy tread bars, we appreciate that because it helps to improve traction, as well as this. This is a special weight, something put to add weight to the tractor in front so that traction is improved. With increase in weight, there is improved traction. So, in summary, the methods of increasing traction on that surface grip: one is reasonable reduction in pressure. The tire pressure, the amount of air in the tubes or in the tires should be reasonable enough, not so high, not so little. So should be reasonable reduction in pressure to increase traction. 2, addition of weight, as we have already seen, and we shall again see how addition of weight also helps to increase traction. 3 is by increasing the number of wheels, so that a tractor has more wheels. That helps to increase the surface grip. And then increasing the number of tires, that means a tire within another one, a tire in another tire. Ballasting the tires means adding water. This also helps to increase traction. And in a few cases, traction can be increased by using metallic wheels or chains. Those factors or methods we've described of increasing traction, we can be able to see, like in this case, very heavy tread bars to increase traction, and of course the increasing of weights will be very important. This is the weight again, and the heavy tread bars, and anybody operating a vehicle or a tractor must see to it that the tires have heavy tread bars. If it's worn out, then the traction will be reduced. And with that, we come to the end of this lesson. And till we meet again, thank you.